I'm encouraging you to be in somebody's church. Um, just be there so you can be in the atmosphere. Excuse me, the atmosphere of worship, the atmosphere of gratitude. Oh, just to be able to collectively come together and to bless his holy name. So I wanted to get that in there so that you would know without a doubt that Sunday's just not an ordinary day, but it is. Yes. Hey, Kathy, how are you? It's the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and will be glad in it. And for that, we give him glory and honor. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you that will be with us live. And we also want to welcome those of you who will watch later. Um, and we're thankful that we have the ability and the capability to allow this to happen electronically. And so we just wanted to let you know that. And I see that all of this good stuff has come up. And so what we want to do is get this to come up and of course it is what it is. So let me do this so I can do this so I can do this and this won't let me do this. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much, Iris, for letting me know that all is well with our presentation and that we are running up to snuff. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to pull up Union's page, and Union's page doesn't want to cooperate. Amazing, isn't it? So let me see there we go. Let me see what I can do to bring that up. Minister Sarah, bless your heart for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this moment and this gathering together of the people of God so that we can grow and become and just see what God is able to do because He's a miraculous God. He's an awesome God. He's a powerful God. And so we are thankful and grateful. And it looks like I don't think my page is running. Fascinating. Hmm. We have had this problem before, and we're going to see if we can. Here we go. Now it's up and running like it should be. And so grateful for all of you that are here with us on today. And just glad that Ewans is here with us. Okay, Jemison, bless your heart for being here on today. And again, thankful to God for you one and all. So if you don't mind, if you would be so kind, it would help us out tremendously if you would lay on that share button and let it be known that you are sharing this moment of learning and progress and movement and all that other good stuff, and that you're doing that with us on today. That would be absolutely fantastic. Oh, Carolyn, I knew you were going to get on here so you could rub it in, rub it in. But that's okay. We're grateful that you are there where it's nice and warm and you can enjoy the climate. Wendy, good to see you. How you be? Praying that you've had a good day. Elder Carter, I see you. Minister Faith Thornton, Linda Arrington, bless your hearts for being here. Let me look down through here and see what I got. And again, thankful to God for you, one and all. Cecile, good evening to you. Tell Larry we said hello. And so, with that being said, if you don't mind, lay on that share button. Veronica, good to have you here this evening. Andrea, bless your heart for being with us. And we are thankful that you are here. And I got 1 minute and then we're just going to jump in. Thank you for sharing. I see it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Again, just grateful for you, one and all. Giovanni, good evening to you. Tell that little man we said hello. Okay. Renee, how are you? Praying that you are doing well and growing in the Spirit of the Lord. Thank you, Jemison, for sharing on this evening. And we're thankful to God for you, one and all. Well, let me go ahead and jump into what I want to examine, to dissect, to uh, see if we can't find some level of. Tanya, good to have you, girl. Dr. James, bless you. Sylvia Scott, good to have you with us on this great afternoon. See if we can look at something and have a very okay, Carolyn, get off my page. 85 degrees. Ain't that about nothing, okay? Oh my goodness, that's okay. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first, for my day shall come. Okay? I'm dealing with this promise of God that, hey, Denise, that God will fight for you. LMA dear, bless your heart for being here with us. God fights for you. God fights for us. The question that I have, well, Laverne, bless you for being here. The statement that I have, and I'm not trying to meddle all up in your business and your bizwax and all of that. But the one thing that I have learned in dealing with people, Vernice, good to have you here, in dealing with people and dealing with the things that people go through and all of that other kind of stuff. Tom, thank you so much for being here, sir. We appreciate that. Is that it is overwhelmingly difficult to trust God if you have trust issues. Myrna, bless your heart for being here. It is extremely difficult. Hey, D, how are you? Okay. Tell Tyrone I said hello. It is overwhelmingly difficult to trust God when you have trust issues. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Iris, for letting me know that all is as well can be. I appreciate that. Okay. Dr. Pamela, if I have and operate in issues, if I live in distrust, Debbie Johnson, if I function dysfunctionally only because I don't trust anybody or anything. Gladys, bless your heart for being. I'm having a hard time. Shirley, I'm having a hard time because if I have been programmed by the enemy to be distrustful, the enemy also understands that if I'm not real trustful of humans, I might have a problem in trusting God. And could it be that my lack of trust that has been developed and multiplied and nurtured by the enemy, Winnie, bless your heart for being here, has now caused me to feel that is okay. I'm glad Tyrone is there. It has caused me to feel that if God, good evening, Carletta, if God does not move, does not interject, does not intervene, on a timetable that I have developed because of my misgivings and my shortcomings and the issues that have happened in my life, then I begin to take charge of things. And the problem is I'm really not qualified to do it. And so what happens is, since I don't trust God, who I am not seeing because I can't trust people who I see all the time, or persons that I've seen, or people who have been a part of my life. And I want us to think about this, whether they are dead or alive. Hey, Yana, how are you, dear? So it's if I've got trust issues with people, wouldn't it make sense for me to struggle with God? There's a very powerful passage in Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. And I want us to look at this, but I still got some stuff that I've got to delve down into in order to see if we can't crack the surface of this so that we can go a little bit higher in our trust factors with God. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Now, it's hard for me to be still when I believe that God is not on his job, or is not functioning, or is not delivering, or is not making a way. Now I want to talk about something, and I hope I'm not oh, I hope I'm not messing with y'all too much, but there's a major difference between someone who waits on God or someone who procrastinates about the things of God. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. I'm gonna read this definition. I'm gonna read this definition of a procrastinator. That's the act of delaying or postponing a task, often until the very last possible moment, even though they know it could have a negative consequence for that person. I want you to think about what hey Janet, how are you? I want you to think about what I just said. I want you to just let this marinate for just a moment. A person who waits on God is not sitting on their behind doing absolutely nothing. Hey Gwen, how are you, dear Lady Harrison? Good to have you. That's not, because they that wait upon the Lord, which means they're in some level of service while they're waiting on the manifestation of what God is going to do. But procrastinators are the kind of people who come up with excuses for not doing what they should do when they know they should do it. And then when they finally do it, it's usually at the very last minute. Though, hey, Thea, though there is a consequence, y'all didn't hear what I said. Timothy, Cecile, there is a consequence that is detrimental to the faith functionality of someone when they put off and put off and put off and put off and put off, rather than stepping into either what God has called them to do, or a position that they should have, or an activity that should take place. These are the people who will tell you what to do, but they themselves can't do it. Are y'all with me? Procrastinators are the people who don't really care that their procrastination impedes what's happening. It's a part of their dysfunction. And so what we have to see and to understand, I know that was kind of deep there, wasn't it? That was kind of deep, okay? And so you got to know that there's a difference between knowing my position and staying in my position, staying in my place, and watching God work, than for those who have been damaged by people who have, for the most part, okay, been jacked up by other people and don't know how to let God reign and rule. Mhm. This promise tells us that we will never lose a battle when we recognize who's with us. But when we have made it up in our mind, hey, Shirley, when we've made it up in our mind that God is just like everybody else, and we don't say it, but it's evident in our behavior. We don't say it, though it's there. And because it's there, God recognizes clearly, I really, what we do, and God has to do this from time to time. I mean, I used this example before of a lifeguard. And lifeguards understand quite clearly that they can't rescue you while you're fighting. They have to wait until you have just about drowned before they come out to rescue you, because if they come out too soon, your fighting and resisting will drown both of you. Could it be that some things God wants to do for you, he can't do because you're still fighting a battle that doesn't belong to you? Can I wait on that for just a second? Can I wait? Can I wait on the, hey, Tyrone, Cecile praying for Larry? Can I wait on that for just, can I let that simmer for just a moment? Because too many times, hey, Lisa, too many times, Stephanie, too many times we're out there fighting. God ain't fast enough. God ain't working well enough. God's not. And God says, okay, wait a minute. I can't step in because you won't step out. And I'm going to let you exhaust yourself until you get to the point that you recognize and understand that this battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. Oh, can I get you to put it in the chat? And I know I'm early about doing it. I know I am. Can you put in the chat, the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's? Did you hear me? And so I'm beat down, I'm beat up, and then God not only has to fight the battle. Hey, well, Lena, how are you, dear? But then he's got to restore us because we're half dead. We now have trust issues with God. We now have all of these things with God. And God has all of these blessings and all of these opportunities and all of these things that he has promised you, but he can't give them to you because you're trying to fight something that belongs to him. Now, for those of us who are the strong-willed, we are not the passive. For those of us who are the self-determined, for those of us who are the self-reliant. Hey, Angie, how are you? Good to have you here. We struggle with that because self-reliance has been developed by deficiency. Why? Because I want you to hear this. Because, all right, because if I have been disappointed by people, hey, Daryl, how are you? If I've been let down by human beings, I will not trust God. You didn't hear what I said. You really didn't hear. You didn't hear what I said, did you? And so here's what happens. I become frustrated. I become evil. I become mean, Gelada. I become distrusting, disheartening. I will live my life beneath the privilege of what God has created for me to live. And here, can I ask y'all a question? I really need to ask this question. Do you think? Wait. Let me ask it this way: who has the most experience in winning battles? God or you? God or you? Who do you think has won more battles? God or you? And if you have come to the point that you recognize that God, here we go, put your seatbelt on, that God knows how to win, that God is strategic in winning and fighting battles, then what you have to learn how to do is to back up and let God step in. I wish I had. You know what I'm talking about, Gelada? Do you understand? But here's the problem. I'm winded. I'm exhausted. I'm older. I could have been doing more than what I'm doing now because I've tied the hands of God because I'm going to fight this. Okay? You just got to learn how to be still. You've got to learn how to believe that God knows what he's doing. Can I read this again so that I can let this get into your spirit? Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. You didn't catch that. You didn't catch that. You didn't catch. Oh, y'all, okay. Y'all know that God has won more battles. When you gonna let him win for you? When are you going to surrender? When are you going to allow your will, as Jesus did in the Garden of Gethsemane? When are you going to allow your will to be subjugated to his? You remember Jesus even went through that. If it's possible, let it pass. He continued to pray and seek God's face. And then he said, no, well, you know what? Not my will, but your will be done. And when he surrendered, the situation did not change, but he changed in the situation. Whew. Oh my God. Help me to not jump up out this seat and run around this basement. Did you hear me? The situation did not change because it's the reason that he came. But his attitude, his willingness to do his master or father's will overruled and superseded what his flesh wanted. And when he said, not mine, but yours, the peace of God that passes. See, and if you don't have peace, if you don't have joy, if you have momentary joy or artificially infused joy, if you're doing all of that, and I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for it. When you fight battles that don't belong to you, you shorten your lifespan because your body will react to the stress that you have imposed on it. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Where's Carletta at? If you're driving, do not answer. we don't need no wrecks while you running down Route 7. Listen to what I said. Your bodies, our bodies, were not designed to be stress holders. And so when we choose to stress ourselves, well, you know what, Pastor, you don't know what they did to me. Like you the first person somebody did something to, or like you the last person somebody gonna do. And half the stuff you doing, you might have even just did it to yourself. Y'all didn't hear me. You might have just messed yourself up because you can't control and manipulate people, or people are controlling and manipulating you, all the rest of that kind of stuff. And so what you have to come to terms with is, how long do I want to live? And get this. And what is the quality of life that I want to live? How I want cognition and recognition as I get older. Now, I may not be able to get around, as well, because it takes a while to recover from what I've gone through. But I also know that I will not be held captive by it, because as time goes by, things get better. And so I'm enjoying life. Listen to what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that stuff don't come to stress you. I'm not saying that stuff don't come to mess you up. I'm not saying that things don't come, because they will, because we're human beings, and we deal with human beings and circumstances and situations. But what you have to recognize and what you have to see is that if you keep stressing yourself, strokes, heart attacks, migraines, ulcers, here we go. A lot of things that are going on in our lives have nothing to do with what we eat, but what we ingest in our minds. And the word of the Lord says, wait a minute, I thought I saw it. Okay, Carletta said driving, but the word of the Lord said, let this mind be in you. Why is it that I need to have the mind of Christ? Because the mind of Christ is a mind that is not filled with stress, anger, meanness. It is a mind that is filled with the peace of God that passes all of that. That's right. That's right, Veronica. Let go, let God. But you got to let go and let God. You can't say I'm going to let go and then try to act like God. Okay? What you have to understand and what you have to see clear, and it's true, Charlene, it's true. A lot of the medications that we are taking, if we would learn to live a less stressed, then it's going to be some level of stress, but a less stressed life, you will be surprised how the quality of life will change. If you can't sleep because you're stressed, you are shortening your life. Ooh, woo, woo. Because I don't care who you are, and especially as you get older, you need your rest. That doesn't mean that you're lazy. You need your rest. You need to recover. And if you're getting 3 to 4 hours a night, you are on a slippery slope. Because for whatever reason, and I'm telling you from my own personal experiences of not knowing how to shut my mind off. I've lived years that I couldn't sleep, that I couldn't rest, because I'm constantly thinking, how do I do this? How do I check? How do I turn this around? How do I make ends meet? How do I? And what I had to come to realize, while I'm losing sleep over something I can't change, I'm shortening my life. Am I teaching this so that you can understand where I'm coming from? A lot of things will lessen if you listen. Dr. David Harrison, I got my brother on here with me. And David, that's a powerful point that you're making. But our problem is, okay, and I'm not calling you liars, but we lie about that a lot. I'm going to give it to you. And then 2 days later, I pick it back up again. I'm going to do it, Lord. And then a couple of days later, I pick it back up. See, you will never live a whole, powerful life until you know what is God's responsibility and your responsibility. Can I read this one more time? I want to read it one more time because I think we need to get this to understand. Exodus 14:14. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. So what does this mean? And I'm getting ready to mess y'all up when I say this. Do you actually think a battle of yours surprised God as much as it may have surprised you? Do you think, oh God, do you think that there's something that's happening in your life that God is unaware of? He says, my intervention with you is so meticulous that I know the number of hairs or maybe the absence of them now on your head. I am so into you to live a successful and powerful life that nobody else will ever have your fingerprint or your retina. Y'all need to hear me. Do you hear what I'm saying? And then, in case y'all don't know it, life is flying. My older two kids, one is 51, one is 49, one is 45. Where did that time go? Where did, because while we were busy, I got to. Listen, and here's what happens. We wait and retire at 60, 65, and are dead by 70 or 75. I'm going to wait on you. Statistics have shown, and sure, there's work-related stress and all of that. Statistics have shown, okay, Minister Michael Williams, statistics have shown that we do all of this stuff and we stress ourselves out and we do what we need to do and we all been out of shape and then finally get a chance to retire and die. I'm trying to get us to see this. And if we're not dead, we are so overly medicated until it's not. Why do you think, I'm going to get in trouble, that people are fighting to take away Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security? Because they understand that the level of stress that we allow ourselves to live under will kill us, which means the benefits that you have worked 30, 40 years for will go back into the treasury so they can do what they want to do with your money. And then we create habits. I'm going to get in trouble for this. We create habits. We smoke, we drink, we do all of these other things because They give us some sense of peace. I've been guilty of that in my younger years. They give us some sense of peace. They seem to anesthetize us. And what we fail to understand is that overindulgence of anything is deadly. We vape, we do all kinds of things. Okay, y'all don't like me today, do you? I know y'all don't like this lesson at all because I'm trying to get you to understand if you let God fight your battles, you'll live longer. If you let God fight your battles, you will live a very powerful quality of life. If you let God, some do make it to retirement, some do. If you let God fight your battle, and D, what many people don't recognize and understand, you got to work. Because if you don't work, you don't eat. You don't have no place to live. You can't pay utilities and bills. So, but what I'm trying to get you to see is in the midst of work, don't let it work your nerves. Don't let those people get on your nerves. And I know many times they do, and all the rest of that stuff. Has this helped you tonight? Has this kind of opened your eyes a little bit to get you to see that let him fight for you? Let God fight for you, and you chill out, you relax. Um, okay, I got you. Yeah, and D, how many people, because of the stress of their job, die before they can retire? That's a powerful point that D is making. D is making that on my page, so those of you on Union's page can't see it. Many people don't make it to retirement because they're so stressed out. Some of the stress is self inflicted. Some of the stress is because we don't trust God. Some of the stress is because we're not really good at financial management. Some of the stress is because we are so busy being in competition with other people that we stress ourselves out financially. I want you to live a long, prosperous, happy life, but you will never do it if you keep fighting battles that don't belong to you. Listen, I gotta go. I gotta go. I know I done messed y'all up tonight. I know this wasn't one of them rip roaring, shouting kind of lessons, but I needed you to understand clearly. Here's the thing that many of you better recognize. He wants to fight your battles. Why? Because he wants you to live. I hear you, Thea. Renee, I pray that this is so, Myrna, and the rest of you, because we just can't keep living like this. And I want you to live. I've gone through a whole bunch of medical issues that are at my hand of stupidity. And I'm gonna call it like it need to be called. The quality of my life would be better now if I would have just listened. But when you're self-determined and can't nobody tell you nothing. But I tell you what, I ain't got no problem now. Listen, I love you with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. I want you to pray for us as we on Friday will be in Steubenville, being and participating in the Seven Last Words. I want you to pray for all of the Good Friday services and worship experiences that are going to be taking place. That they be more than a good time, but what they would be is an opportunity of reflection of what Jesus was willing to endure so I could be free and you could be free. Listen, listen. I love y'all, one and all, with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. Pray that all is well with you and yours. Rest well tonight. May God bless you